All right, Jonathan Jones coming in. Tampa Bay wins their first division title since 2007. But Antonio Brown has a big day. 9 catches, over 100 yards. There was some talk. Would they cut him? Would they keep him? Would they allow him back in? Would they give him a slap in the wrist? Is there any sort of pushback by the league, by players, by anybody of the fact that they were basically just like, come on back and everything's all good? And you see why they wanted him back, obviously.
Yeah, no pushback. I mean, from the league, obviously, they instituted that 3-game suspension. That's what the league deemed was sufficient enough for Antonio Brown using a fake vaccination card. They also, of course, extended that suspension to the 2 other players who were involved there. But no, that was it. Antonio Brown didn't appeal the suspension. And Bruce Arians sort of, I think in the back of his mind, always knew that Antonio Brown was going to come back. But certainly last week, after Chris Godwin tore his ACL, after you had Mike Evans go on the injury list, that, well, we're in pursuit of a second Super Bowl. And so, whatever sort of principles or moral high ground there may be, well, it's not going to be here anymore. Now, it flies in the face, of course, of what Bruce Arians said last year, where he essentially said that Antonio Brown was on a 2-strike sort of deal there in Tampa. But apparently, he's been a model citizen there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, other than, of course, obtaining a fake vaccination card, using it, lying to his team and his teammates and his doctors, and putting all their health at risk. Other than that, he's been a model teammate. And so because they need him out there on the field, he's out there on the field, and he's helping them win football games.
All right. Where do they need to get better, though? Right? I mean, they're really good. And I'm not saying that Carolina is a terrific test or anything, but this is a team that got shut out the week before. Where do the Bucs need to be better once everybody comes back? You sort of get everybody set and ready to go for the playoffs. Where are they not good enough, in your opinion, to repeat?
Well, they haven't been consistent, of course. There hasn't really been any team in the NFL outside of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers who have been all that consistent anyway. And so that's not a huge knock on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hey, be consistent down the stretch, of course. Anytime that you get to this point of the season, remember, of course, last year, where they went on that 8-game win streak, including the playoffs, to win the Super Bowl, they were able to rush the football very well. Obviously, Leonard Fournette now healing up, and so they're going to need to get more out of Rojo, who had 20 carries for just 65 yards earlier today. Plenty of that was in salt away, just put the ball in his hands to make sure that no one else fumbles mode. But you're going to need to see more out of them. And then, of course, the defense. You cannot shoot yourselves in the foot. You cannot have as many penalties as the Buccaneers have had dating back to last year in the first 10 games of the season. That was handled in the second half of the year. That raised its head up again throughout this season. And so those are going to be the 2 things. You can't hurt yourself, and you're going to have to be able to run the football, and you're going to have to find some consistency. Not too concerned about the consistency part, because you can really say that if there are 14 teams that are going to be making the playoffs, about 12 of them right now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.